Hey everyone. First of all, the auction's over and congratulations to the winner, Tacoma 200. I'm really happy with how the auction turned out and I will definitely put more paintings up in the future, so expect that. I might either make a video for each one or set up a website, something like that. So thank you so much for your support, everyone. Today I wanted to talk briefly about the subject of consciousness. And this is partially because of a link that a subscriber sent me not too long ago about the Blue Brain Project. And I'm sorry I can't remember your name, the person who sent it to me, but you know, thank you. I really appreciate that. The Blue Brain Project, if you haven't heard about it, is a project that scientists are undertaking to actually create a human brain from the ground up. And what they hope is that they will have a fully functioning brain within 10 years. And I think they're secretly hoping that it will have self-awareness and consciousness. Or not so secret. I don't know. But what they've done so far is that they've created a neocortical column of a rat, actually. But it does seem to be functioning and organizing itself and producing waves. So they want to expand upon that and simply create more connections and eventually build a whole brain. Are they getting ahead of themselves? Are they getting overconfident about producing a conscious entity? Perhaps. Probably. I mean, just to give you an example, just to give you an idea of scale, the human brain contains 100 billion neurons, to say nothing of the connections of those neurons. So to say that we could build that someday is well, it's just a really big challenge, and I wish them luck. But it does raise some questions, like how do we know if it's self-aware? Of course, it's one of the age-old questions that we can never answer about anyone but ourselves, and even people argue about knowing that oneself is aware. So it really is an interesting project. But thinking about consciousness in these terms sort of got me to think about this other study I read about. It's actually a study done by Livet, L-I-V-E-T, and it's one of his most popular studies, if not the most popular. And really what he does is he gets a group of people together. He has them choose arbitrary moments to move their hand and then record when they made that decision. And he also records their electrical brain activity, or the readiness potential of their brain before they make that decision. And what he found is that the electrical activity begins about a half a second before the decision itself is made consciously, which actually implies that consciousness is observing the brain making a decision. In essence, we're not really making decisions. Our brain is making a decision, and then we're just sort of made aware of that half a second later. So, needless to say, this bothers a lot of people, and proponents of hard determinism use it as an argument against free will. But as I've mentioned before, I'm a compatibilist, so I believe in determinism and free will. And what I would say in response to that is that either way the source is the same. Either way the source is the self, or what could be called the self. So essentially it's the body making a decision, and then the body being aware of that decision. So really it's only a temporal delay. And I don't think that this is a real argument against free will. It doesn't mean that we're not making decisions. It just means that there's a temporal delay between certain brain activity and other brain activity, which is self-awareness, perhaps. when you think about it, we're only aware of a fraction of our cognitive processes anyway. And I think that in society, especially American society, there's a lot of emphasis placed on freedom and individuality, and it irks people to think that they don't have free will. But when you think about it, you don't choose the body you're born into. You don't choose your circumstances. And I think that most people could agree that circumstances shape who we are, and the way we respond to circumstances is in part because of the way we're biologically built. I just thought that it was a really interesting study and that I would share it with you, see what you think. So let me know.